Okay.
Hi, I'm Msgr Luca, the pastor of St. Louis Church in Clarksville, Maryland. I've been a priest for 40 years and a pastor for at least 28 years. And in all these years of ministries, one of my main pastoral concerns has always been, how do we invite adult Catholics into a process that would engage them as adults, in a process enabling them to learn more about Christ in an adult way, a deeper understanding and love for the church, and to establish a personal relationship with Christ. And I'm pleased to say that I have found Discovering Christ to be the answer to that concern. Can I show you something? Follow me. I'd like you to take a look. What you just saw were over 200 parishioners and guests of parishioners, individuals who have no religious affiliation, who have been participating in discovering Christ. Now you might say to yourself, how do you get 200 people? Well, I've got even better news. When we invited the congregation to participate in discovering Christ, we had over 300 come forward and registered, giving us their name, address, and other information. We were not able to accommodate everyone at the same time, so we're going to have to run Discovering Christ a second time. But to be honest with you, what I did was simply offer my parishioners an invitation. And it was very practically done. The first thing I did beforehand was to look at the Discovering Christ promotional video, and then to look at the materials and the topics that were being offered. And it struck me as answering the questions that people really hold deepest in their hearts. So with that in mind, I designated one Sunday where I spoke at all the Masses. And at each of the Masses, I asked the congregants if they ever wanted a deeper relationship with Christ, a personal relationship with Christ, if they wanted an adult understanding of faith. And if the answer to those questions was yes, I asked them to consider watching a 3-minute video promo. And then we played the video in the church. And after the video, which is very compelling of in itself, I returned to the pulpit and asked them to consider participating. And I explained how the process worked, that it was once a week for 7 weeks, that it would begin with a free dinner at no cost that the parish would provide, that it would begin around 6:45 with dinner, and about a half hour after that, there would be another video on topics such as, what is the meaning of life? Why should Christ be different in my life? And topics along those lines. And after the video, there would be some table discussion and some prayer. And to my great delight, I invited them to consider it and pointed out that there were registration forms in the pews. They could fill them out and present them to in the narthex, where a table of parishioners was waiting to receive them. They could submit them the next week when they came to church, or they could register online. And as I said, I have been absolutely delighted, not just because of numbers, because I've heard people say that they not only enjoyed the first session, they were looking forward to the next session. One of the parishioners who is married to a non-Catholic said to me, the very first night, she and her husband were up till midnight talking about what they had just experienced. Now when they come to church, they know people because they've met them. They've talked about the deeper issues of life. So for me, that issue of how do you engage Catholics, more than the regular 35 or 40 that generally show up for any offering that you may have, how do you engage adult Catholics in a process that will really change them and make a difference for the parish community? The answer to that for me has been Discovering Christ. And I would strongly suggest that you take a good look, and perhaps it might be the answer to your pastoral question as well.